Hello, my name's Mike Brunt and I'm spending my time troubleshooting and improving cold fusion applications and Jira applications. This evening we're testing a real world application by applying load to a load test tool, which in my opinion should always be done before anything goes into production. This is the system here that's running the load test tool. It's a web service REST tool, and we're currently running 40 users with 8-second think time, which means 8 seconds between each click. The machine here, which is showing an example of load via a tool called CFusion, is running the Cold Fusion and web server. And what we're seeing here is that already that requests are queuing, and there is a blockage or a bottleneck of some kind, and we're trying to figure out what that is by using logs and by analysing things like metrics logging, like the number of threads being used, the memory that's in use. These things can be mutually independent or interrelated. We're also logging the garbage collection to see what the situation is in the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, which is the heart of the matter, which is really an important part in all of this. And we're also running, in this case, a caching mechanism which sits in between the router or the firewall and the Cold Fusion web server, and the job of that machine is to cache content that is not dynamic, but which is static in one way or another, and that's configurable so that we're actually not passing load to the Cold Fusion and database server, but we're actually caching the content in the caching mechanism. So that's the basis of the test. We're trying to establish first of all what the bottleneck points are in the application and what benefit can be rendered by using a caching mechanism. So we're already getting towards the end of the load test, so this is something to watch. As we can see here, there's a good number of the green squares are actually users in process at the moment. So as we can see, there's a good number of users in process waiting, with threads waiting to have responses. That's not a good sign. Typically you want to see this cycling very efficiently and rapidly. And this, as we can see here on this box, which is using CFusion to measure the actual number of threads and memory in use, there were some issues. Now the load test is shutting down, as you can see. We're now basically right at the end of the load test. What we want to see here is we want to see these users shutting down fairly quickly, and we should see a commensurate reduction in the number of running requests on this system here, which we're now down to 0. So that went pretty well in terms of the number of users and how quickly the threads were released.